I lay awake each night, wrestling with uncertainty as my high-powered boyfriend openly celebrated my sister's stunning looks with the confidence of a leader, laying bare my deepest insecurities. Thank you for joining our community. If you're drawn to tales of women facing harsh truths and discovering their inner strength, please consider subscribing. It's free. Today's story delves into the turmoil of envy and betrayal, following one woman's journey to confront her self-doubt and embrace her value. Let's begin. Growing up in our household felt like inhabiting two separate realms under one roof. Our home, a cozy two-story house on the edge of a lively city, buzzed with the sounds of joy, conversation, and the occasional sibling spat. My parents, dedicated and affectionate, always worked hard to provide for us. My father, a civil engineer, put in long hours at his firm, while my mother, a nurse, often took night shifts at the nearby hospital. Despite their demanding schedules, they carved out time for family meals, weekend adventures, and holidays brimming with love and warmth. My name is Elizabeth, and I'm 24 years old. My sister, Sophia, is 2 years my senior. From an early age, it was obvious that Sophia and I were worlds apart in many ways. Sophia was the kind of person who effortlessly drew attention wherever she went. With her tall, graceful figure, flowing auburn hair, and piercing green eyes, she could have easily graced the pages of a magazine. Her beauty was striking and captivating, pulling in admiration from everyone she met. Even as a young child, strangers would stop my mother in stores to marvel at Sophia's radiant appearance. I, by contrast, was often called charming. I had a small frame, wavy chestnut hair that defied control, and deep brown eyes. While Sophia's allure demanded notice, mine was quieter, often fading into the background next to her brilliance. At first, I didn't mind. I adored Sophia and took pride in her elegance and charisma. Sophia was vibrant, self-assured, and magnetic. She formed friendships with ease and was always the focal point at school or social events. Her laughter was contagious, and her energy seemed endless. Sophia had a gift for making people feel valued, and she flourished in social settings. I was quieter, more introspective. I cherished spending time with a small circle of friends and gravitated toward calm pursuits like reading, sketching, and wandering in nature. While Sophia captivated others with her charm, I found happiness in life's small, quiet moments, often playing the role of the supportive sister, cheering her on from the sidelines. Despite our differences, Sophia and I were close in our early years. We spent hours in the backyard, weaving imaginary worlds and embarking on epic quests. Sophia always took the lead, crafting intricate stories and assigning roles, while I happily followed, adding my own flair to our adventures. Our parents strove to treat us equally, showering us with love and encouragement. But as we grew, the way others perceived us became more noticeable. At family gatherings, relatives would rave about Sophia's beauty, often passing over me in their praise. Teachers at school would remark on Sophia's potential to become a star, while my successes in academics and art were acknowledged but rarely celebrated with the same fervor. One of my earliest memories of feeling eclipsed by Sophia's beauty was when I was 6. It was Sophia's 8th birthday, and our parents had organized a grand celebration. The house was alive with family and friends, filled with laughter and music. Sophia wore a stunning lavender dress with a matching ribbon in her hair, looking like a character from a storybook. I wore a simple green dress, feeling pretty but plain beside Sophia's dazzling presence. As guests arrived, they flocked to Sophia, showering her with praise and presents. "You're like a little queen, Sophia," they'd exclaim. "You'll steal so many hearts when you're older." Meanwhile, I stood nearby, smiling politely, hoping someone would notice me. A few guests did, offering kind but fleeting remarks like, "Elizabeth, you look sweet too," but the spotlight always returned to Sophia. That day, I felt a twinge of envy, a confusing emotion I didn't fully grasp. I loved Sophia and wanted her to shine, but I couldn't shake the feeling of being unseen. That sense of being overshadowed followed me through childhood and into my teenage years, growing stronger over time. Family outings only reinforced the contrast between us. Whether we were at the park, the aquarium, or on a beach vacation, Sophia always attracted admiring glances and comments from strangers. "What a gorgeous girl," they'd say to my parents. She could be in commercials. My parents would beam with pride and thank them, while I stood quietly by, wishing for even a sliver of the attention Sophia received. The first day of elementary school was a turning point for both of us. Sophia, with her natural charm and striking looks, quickly became popular. She made friends effortlessly, her laughter and warmth drawing others to her like moths to a flame. I admired her ability to connect with people and often found myself lingering quietly by her side, watching as she navigated social situations with ease. Sophia's popularity soared. She was invited to every birthday party, picked first for group activities, and always had someone to sit with at lunch. I, however, struggled to find my place. Making friends didn't come easily to me. I was shy, preferring the comfort of a book to the chaos of the playground. While Sophia thrived in the school's social scene, I often felt like an outsider. In the classroom, the differences were just as stark. Teachers adored Sophia. They praised her engagement, her enthusiasm, and her ability to light up the room. "Sophia, you're such a joy," they'd say. "Your presence brightens the whole class." I couldn't help but notice that their praise for me was less enthusiastic. "Elizabeth, nice work on your math test," they'd say, their tone lacking the same warmth. As the school year went on, key moments highlighted the growing divide between Sophia and me. One such moment was the annual school talent show. Sophia decided to perform a dance routine and practiced tirelessly after school. Our parents were thrilled, attending every rehearsal and offering endless encouragement. On the night of the talent show, the auditorium was filled with students, parents, and teachers. Sophia took the stage in a sparkling outfit, her confidence radiating through the room. Her performance was flawless, her movements elegant and mesmerizing. The audience erupted in applause, and I felt a surge of pride for my sister. But as the cheers grew louder, so did a pang of envy in my chest. Later that evening, as we gathered in the school gym for refreshments, Sophia was surrounded by admirers. "Sophia, you were incredible," they said. "You could be a professional dancer." The praise flowed freely, and I watched from the sidelines, feeling small and overlooked. One particular family gathering remains etched in my memory. It was Thanksgiving, and our home was filled with the warm scent of roasted turkey and apple pie. Relatives had come from near and far, and the dining room hummed with chatter and laughter. Sophia, dressed in a chic outfit that highlighted her beauty, was the center of attention as always. As we sat around the table, our Aunt Clara turned to Sophia and said, "Sophia, sweetheart, you're more radiant than ever. You belong on a runway." Everyone nodded in agreement, their eyes fixed on Sophia. I felt a familiar knot tighten in my stomach. "And Elizabeth, how's school going?" Aunt Clara added, almost as an afterthought. I forced a smile and said, "I'm doing well, thanks," but the words felt empty, and the conversation quickly shifted back to Sophia. As the night went on, I retreated to a quiet corner, grappling with feelings of envy and inadequacy. The school year brought more events where Sophia shone, further emphasizing our differences. One such event was the school's Spring Festival, a day of games, activities, and performances. Sophia was chosen to star in the school play, portraying a fairy tale heroine who saved the day with her courage and beauty. She rehearsed her lines with passion, and our parents couldn't have been prouder. On the day of the festival, the entire school gathered to watch the play. Sophia's performance was flawless, her grace and charm captivating the audience. She earned a standing ovation, and I clapped along, but inside, I felt a mix of pride and resentment. After the play, there were games and activities on the school lawn. Sophia was surrounded by friends, all eager to be near the school's star. I wandered the grounds, feeling out of place. I wanted to join in, but my shyness held me back. Watching Sophia laugh and play with her friends, I wondered if I'd ever feel as confident or accepted as she did. The seeds of envy and resentment took root during these years. I loved Sophia deeply, but I couldn't ignore the constant comparisons and the favoritism that seemed to follow her. It wasn't just teachers and family who favored her, it was everyone. Even our peers were drawn to her, leaving me feeling like an afterthought. One Christmas at our grandparents' house, the living room glowed with twinkling lights and the scent of fresh cookies. As we exchanged gifts, relatives couldn't stop commenting on Sophia's appearance. "Sophia, you're more stunning every year. You look like a star." I received kind but less enthusiastic remarks. "Elizabeth, you're looking lovely today," they'd say, their attention already drifting back to Sophia. That night, in our shared bedroom at our grandparents' house, I opened up to Sophia. "Sophia, does all the attention ever get exhausting?" I asked softly. Sophia sighed and turned to me. "Sometimes, Elizabeth, it's a lot, but I'm grateful too. You know, you have so many incredible qualities, your intelligence, your creativity, your kindness. Don't let anyone make you feel less than you are." Her words were kind, but they didn't fully ease my feelings of envy and inadequacy. It was hard to feel confident when I was constantly compared to someone who seemed to have everything. As we moved through elementary school, more events highlighted the gap between us. At the annual science fair, I worked hard on a project about ecosystems, while Sophia created a visually stunning display about marine life. On the day of the fair, the gym was filled with vibrant projects and eager students. Sophia's display was breathtaking, with colorful illustrations and a clear explanation of ocean ecosystems. My project, though well-researched, lacked the same visual flair. When the winners were announced, Sophia took first place in the artistic category. I received an honorable mention for my research, but it felt like a small consolation. Our parents praised us both, but the excitement around Sophia's win was undeniable. "Sophia, you did an amazing job," they exclaimed, while my effort was met with a simple, "Good work, Elizabeth." I tried to hide my disappointment, but it was hard. The constant comparisons and the sense of being overshadowed were eroding my confidence. One summer, we vacationed at a lakeside retreat. The serene setting, with its lush forests and sparkling lake, was perfect for swimming and exploring. Sophia and I spent our days hiking, swimming, and roasting marshmallows by the fire. One afternoon, while swimming, a group of kids from nearby cabins joined us. Sophia, with her outgoing nature, quickly bonded with them. They were captivated by her beauty and charm, playing games and laughing together. I tried to join in, but I felt like an outsider. The kids seemed more interested in Sophia, and I found myself drifting to the edge of the group. That evening, by the campfire, I felt a familiar pang of envy. Sophia made friends so effortlessly, while I struggled to connect. By 5th grade, the divide between us had widened. Sophia was elected class president, a role that suited her vibrant personality and leadership skills. She thrived in the spotlight, organizing events and earning admiration from teachers and students alike. I excelled in academics, often earning top grades, but the recognition I received felt less vibrant than the praise showered on Sophia. My achievements were met with polite acknowledgement, while Sophia's were celebrated with enthusiasm. One spring, our school held a field day with various athletic events. Sophia, with her natural athleticism, excelled in multiple competitions, winning first place in the sprint, high jump, and relay race. The crowd cheered her on, and she was awarded a trophy for her outstanding performance. I participated in a few events, placing second in the sack race and earning a participation ribbon for the obstacle course. Our parents congratulated me, but their excitement was clearly focused on Sophia's victories. As we walked home, Sophia carried her trophy proudly, while I held my ribbon, feeling a mix of pride and frustration. Despite these challenges, there were moments of encouragement. Our art teacher, Mrs. Larson, was a warm and insightful woman who saw potential in her students. One day after class, she asked me to stay behind. "Elizabeth, your sketches show real talent," she said kindly. "Your attention to detail and ability to convey emotion are remarkable." I blushed, unaccustomed to such praise. "Thank you, Mrs. Larson," I replied, feeling a spark of confidence. "I think you should enter the school art contest," she continued. "You have a unique gift, and it deserves to be shared." Inspired by her words, I spent hours working on a piece. A drawing of a girl in a forest, her expression a blend of hope and longing. When the contest day arrived, the gym was filled with vibrant artwork. Sophia was there, supporting me as the judges reviewed the entries. When they announced the winners, I was overjoyed to hear my name called for first place in the drawing category. The applause was warm and genuine, and for once, I felt truly seen. Sophia hugged me tightly. "I knew you did, Elizabeth," she said. "You're incredible." But when I got home, eager to share my success, I found Sophia already basking in our parents' praise. She had just returned from a shoot for a local fashion brand, and our parents were glowing as she recounted the experience. The photographer said I was a natural. Sophia beamed. "We're so proud of you, Sophia," my mother said, hugging her tightly. My heart sank. Holding my certificate and ribbon, I felt my excitement fade. Not wanting to steal Sophia's moment, I slipped into my room and tucked my award away. Sitting on my bed, I felt a mix of disappointment and frustration. I didn't resent Sophia's success, I just longed for a moment where I could feel truly celebrated. At dinner, as my parents continued to talk about Sophia's shoot, I mustered the courage to speak. "Mom, Dad, I won first place in the art contest today," I said softly. They turned to me, their expressions shifting to mild interest. "That's great, Elizabeth," my father said with a smile. "Well done, sweetheart," my mother added, but their enthusiasm paled compared to their excitement for Sophia. The conversation quickly returned to Sophia's news, leaving me feeling overshadowed once more. As I cleared the table that night, I thought of Mrs. Larson's words and the applause at the contest. Despite my parents' muted response, I reminded myself that my achievement mattered. I had worked hard and earned my moment, and I needed to hold on to that pride. In my room, I placed the certificate and ribbon on my desk, a reminder of my talent and potential. That night, I vowed to keep pursuing my passions and celebrating my victories, no matter how small they seemed to others. Middle school brought more changes for Sophia and me. As puberty arrived, Sophia's beauty blossomed further. She grew taller, her figure more defined, and her auburn hair and green eyes became even more striking. She seemed to embody society's ideal of beauty, drawing constant attention from boys. Sophia's locker was adorned with notes and flowers, and she was invited to every dance and party, becoming a staple in the middle school social scene. She thrived in the attention, navigating it with her usual grace. I, however, experienced puberty more quietly. My appearance remained understated, and I was often overlooked next to Sophia's radiance. I focused on my studies and hobbies, finding comfort in my art and books. While Sophia shone in the social spotlight, I found joy in quieter pursuits. As Sophia's popularity grew, so did her involvement in modeling and pageants. She was scouted by a local agency and began booking photo shoots and competitions. Our parents were overjoyed, attending every event and cheering her on. Sophia's room filled with awards, sashes, and photos from her modeling work. She was becoming a local star, and our parents couldn't have been prouder. As high school ended, Sophia and I faced a turning point. Sophia committed fully to her modeling and acting career, a path that seemed made for her. With her beauty and charisma, she was already making waves in the industry, receiving offers from agencies and casting directors. She began traveling for gigs, and our parents supported her wholeheartedly. I chose a different path, enrolling in a liberal arts college with strong programs in art and literature. While Sophia's life was filled with glamour, mine was quieter but deeply fulfilling. I was excited to dive into my studies and hone my creative skills. The first day of college was a mix of nerves and excitement. The campus buzzed with energy as students settled into dorms and attended orientation. My dorm room was small but warm, decorated with art prints and stacks of books, a sanctuary for my creativity. College was transformative. I threw myself into my classes, inspired by passionate professors and new ideas. My art courses let me explore new mediums, while my literature classes broadened my perspectives. I also formed close friendships with classmates, bonding over late-night study sessions and shared interests. My roommate, Claire, was a supportive friend who shared my love for art. We spent hours in the studio, working on projects and dreaming about the future. One of the most significant parts of college was meeting James. We met in a creative writing class during our sophomore year. James, an English major with a love for poetry, had a quiet, thoughtful nature that drew me in. Our friendship soon turned romantic, and we became inseparable. James was a constant source of support, attending my gallery showings and praising my work. We spent hours discussing art, literature, and our dreams. His calm presence gave me confidence, and I fell deeply in love with him. While college brought growth, my relationship with Sophia grew more distant. Her career had skyrocketed, and she was living a glamorous life that felt worlds apart from mine. She appeared in magazines, attended red carpet events, and traveled for shoots. Despite our diverging paths, we stayed in touch. Sophia occasionally visited me at college, bringing her whirlwind of glamour. During one visit, fresh from a shoot in London, she arrived in designer clothes, turning heads as we walked across campus. "London was magical, Elizabeth," she said, her eyes alight. "The fashion, the culture, it was all so perfect. And a director wants me for his next project. That's incredible, Sophia," I replied, trying to match her enthusiasm. As we walked, her stories of glamour filled the air, stirring old insecurities. That evening, in my dorm, Sophia noticed my art supplies and books. "You've always been the creative one, Elizabeth," she said warmly. "I wish I had your talent." Her words were kind, but they didn't fully ease my feelings of inadequacy. Despite my growth, the shadow of comparison lingered. As college continued, I focused on my studies and James. I knew I needed to forge my own path. A study abroad program in Spain was a turning point. Immersed in the country's culture, I visited museums, studied art, and filled my sketchbook with drawings of vibrant landscapes. The experience gave me independence and clarity. I realized my worth wasn't tied to others' validation but to my own passions and efforts. Returning to college, I felt renewed purpose, diving into my senior thesis, a collection of paintings and essays exploring art and storytelling. It earned high praise from my professors. As graduation neared, Sophia visited again, fresh from filming her first major movie. Her arrival drew attention, as always, and she shared stories of her exciting career. At a gathering with my friends, Sophia's charm captivated everyone, and I felt the familiar mix of admiration and envy. But James's steady presence grounded me, reminding me of my own worth. From the moment I met James, our relationship felt like a storybook. We connected over shared passions in our writing class, spending hours discussing literature in the campus cafe. One fall evening, he invited me to a poetry reading at a local bookstore. The cozy atmosphere deepened our connection, and during a walk afterward, he confessed his feelings. Our relationship grew through shared moments, art exhibits, late-night talks, and a memorable spring break trip to a coastal town. We explored galleries, collected seashells, and watched sunsets, falling deeper in love. James's support gave me confidence to embrace my talents and face challenges. Our relationship had its struggles, but we always found our way back to each other. His love was a constant, helping me navigate college and my insecurities, reminding me to celebrate my own journey.